What's up, good fighters? Man, we got a heck of a show for you guys today. Obviously, always with some connection, intention, and purpose. Not some. We got a lot of connection, intention, and purpose, especially with Tylor Pritchard, soon-to-be Dr. Tylor Pritchard on the show. What's funny, guys, is so Dr. Tylor, soon-to-be Dr. Tylor, was nationalized protege, for lack of a better term, coming up through school. And I just want to say real quick, man, it has been really cool to see you evolve. It's been really cool to see you go from protege to now leading the pack and leading the chiropractic world, in my opinion. And I'm really excited to dive into it today with how you are going about that as not only a leader in the chiropractic field, but also making other leaders. And so with today's episode, Dr. Tylor, we like to start things off a little bit different here. Instead of asking, what your story's been, we want to hear about who you want to become, where you want to go. So if you could start off real quick with that, just, what is your connection, intention, and purpose in life from here on?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I just want to say that it's funny coming up through school, man. You two cats. I remember I actually met Nash on my visit.
Shoot.
I don't think Nash remembers it. He says, "Oh yeah," but I don't think he remembers coming across me on my visit. It was at the Pie House.
I do remember. I swear I remember.
All right.
Yeah, I do recall.
Yeah, you and Mike Markowski are like two of the first people I met at Palmer. So, I was just navigating around, went out, came across both you guys on my journey through school here, and you two were just like two heavy hitters that I knew that if I associated myself with you guys, things would turn out pretty well for me. So more than happy to be here today.
Glad to have you, man.
Where do I want to be? Good question. Obviously, the first objective is to get a practice. Working on it right now. Have some really exciting things in the pipeline. And then after that, man, it's all about advancing the profession.
Yeah.
It's
sir.
Getting people off of unneeded drugs and surgery.
Boom, boom.
It's about connecting people to their creator, connecting people to the inner healer. And man, I'm just excited to help change lives wherever the journey takes me, man.
Dude,
freaking love it.
As I don't know, like the concept of being a good fighter and fighting the good fight, man. Truly cannot wait for you to get your legal license to fight in the good fight, man. Because we need as many as we can get, and you are, in my opinion, one of the best I've ever seen, man. So I'm really excited for not just you, but for the people that you're going to be able to impact, bro. I really am.
Just a young buck coming up, and now he's leading the pack.
Yeah. And, we talk about it a lot on this podcast that, the law of attraction and things that we manifest they happen for a reason. And, with you, man, I think with what you were saying, I really truly believe that too, that like, we did meet. Mike and I were one of the first people he met, and I think that was for a reason too. Because in a way, that social connection that you felt and, led you to, at least made it a stronger connection to seek out Dr. Malley, I think. And man, just the journey that you've walked already is just, it's really cool. So one thing that we always like to hit on is, getting your interpretation and what it really means to you, the three words of connection, intention, and purpose. Would you mind sharing with us what all three mean, or kind of what each kind of means to you?
For sure, man. So those three words, for most people, I feel like they're just like a dictionary definition. And I didn't really understand on a deep level what connection, intention, and purpose was until I started training with MLS. And I know You guys had Dr. Nathan on. Nash, you and I like went to a bunch of MLS seminars together. That seminar is like, it's like an experience. It's the entire chiropractic philosophy delivered to you in an experience. And to be able to experience things like connection, intention, and purpose in a weekend was absolutely crazy. And to me, connection, we'll start with connection. Dude, you guys have talked about this on the podcast before. Those genuine conversations you have with people where, you're not imposing your own beliefs on somebody. You're not, you're just coming together. It's kind of like what we're doing here. We're masterminding, we're connecting, all in harmony. Nobody's competing with one another, and we're just working to better the field, better whoever listens to this podcast. We're trying to better their experience. We're connecting with people daily, trying to better ourselves and better them. That's what connection is all about. Intention, man. I can go on for days about intention. It's I feel like at the root of everything, intention is the most important thing in our daily lives. Like, we won't always accomplish everything we wanted to accomplish. There's so many unknown factors in the world, but that intention, if our intentions are pure, man, that's when, and if we keep them pure and keep our sights set on that one intention or whatever it is, things start to happen for us, generally faster than they would otherwise. But man, intention's so important. And then purpose. I feel like purpose, man, a lack of purpose is the number one thing that holds people back. It's the number one. It's the most important thing. I was just reading I wasn't reading. I was listening to an audiobook. Napoleon Hill, How to Own Your Mind, How to Own Your Own Mind. And this is way early on. This is like back when Napoleon Hill was first getting started, just completely changed his career course. He was going to be a lawyer, but he decided that he was going to deliver a philosophy of personal achievement to the people. And he was influenced by Andrew Carnegie. And in this book, he's basically interviewing Andrew Carnegie. And, they talk about one's number one definite purpose is the most important thing to develop as a young professional, as a young person. And you can accomplish anything after you establish that one purpose for yourself. And man, that's what I love helping people do. It's defining their purpose and coming through, manifesting it, man. Purpose is so critical for everyone to develop.
That's awesome. I love that. You pretty much nailed the head on everything. Brilliantly said. And I think you're somebody that definitely exudes connection, intention, and purpose in all that you do, and all that you are. So I know Dr. Nash and I were talking a little bit about how, there's been a lot of changes from when we were first in school, from even when you were first in school, and just kind of, some of it's for the better, some of it's upsetting, especially when, all of us, we had great mentors coming up, great, just fantastic mentors. It's definitely a plus of being in the Fountainhead in Davenport. But at the same time, we see a lot going on at the Fountainhead right now that is not so great. I wondered if you could touch on that, just different things that you've noticed in the chiropractic profession that have changed since, maybe since we were in school, and things that maybe, students need to be aware of so that they don't limit their connection, intention, and purpose, or even other chiros out there in the field right now.
Yeah, man. One of the big things that I've really seen was the coronavirus pandemic. I don't know if have you guys experienced any of that?
Not in my reality.
No, no.
Not allowing it.
But, dude, it was like there was. I really felt like the Fountainhead was really clicking. Things were really starting to move way up, and then that pandemic hit, and then I felt like motivation just hit an all-time low. And it, it's definitely something that's in the field. You can feel it everywhere. It's why, I mean, unemployment's still so high. We just lost that zest, that
connection.
that connection to the greatest purpose. What I feel like we lost the intention of being the best version of ourselves, the best chiropractor, the best healer, the best that pillar of light in our communities, man. I feel like we lost the pursuit of that following the pandemic, which, it's everywhere. You can't blame anybody or anything for it. It just happens. I feel like we go through these ebbs and flows, these different things that draw our motivation away, and really zap our purpose, and then it'll be back. But that's one of the major things that I saw amongst the student body. But man, it's still great at the Fountainhead. I'm so, that experience of going through Palmer College of Chiropractic, and I'm sure it's true with any professional school, any graduate school, lit me up.
Hell yeah, dude. For real.
I figured out how to love harder, play harder, work harder. And it was because I got connected to that purpose.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody's going through that battle of like trying to find it, and figure out what they want. But when you find it, when you get that spark, and I'm sure you guys, I'd love to hear what you guys kind of experienced a little as well.
Yeah, dude.
Because I know that each of us kind of had a light bulb that went off, and it was like from that point on, we were on point. Like there was no more messing around.
Sorry, we're losing you a little bit, Tyler. Or at least I am. I don't know if you are, Nash.
No. It's a little bit me too.
Go. We'll just have him repeat once he comes back.
Am
Can you repeat that a little bit? Yeah, you're good. Just
Yeah.
repeat that last part real quick.
I feel like there was a light bulb that went off in all three of us. But for me, that light bulb was, it was after I met Dr. Malley, and I started working with him for the first year. And then I started going to these MLS seminars. And then pandemic hit. All time low for me. I was playing like 2 hours of video games a day. I wasn't working out. I was eating like crap. I was just vegging, watching Netflix. Didn't really have online school was online school.
Right.
And there's a reason why people choose to attend online school, but that totally zapped everything that I was about. I couldn't be a part of my clubs, nobody to meet. So I just, I lost it. And then I got coaching by Jeremy Brook, the spine checker. Guy's absolute beast. One of my favorite people in the world. But that light bulb switch when I realized what I wanted. I realized I wanted to be a leader in the profession. I realized that I wanted to help advance the profession forward, get people off these drugs and surgeries. And from that point forward, everything changed, and I maintained alignment with that. And dude, the last year and a half since then has been just incredible for me.
Mm.
And I'd love to hear about your guys' kind of like light bulb that shifted things for you.
For sure. Gates, I hope you don't mind. I've got a few things that I was just kind of like, so as you were talking, man, I mean, that fulfillment, that feeling of like filling your cup, never truly like it was always something that I like was seeking, and I never really truly started like understanding what it felt like to fulfill myself until chiropractic school, and to really like understand like the capacity that I could fill up my cup. Like there's so much more that to life than just the X's and O's and the blueprint of what we're somewhat programmed to believe. And I was very much like you with my it was like a progression where like I really was like, oh, there is a lot more to this. And like it started with Dr. Malley, and he really helped me even like getting to school, understanding that there's a curriculum beyond the curriculum.
Right.
And so, I mean, Gates, we've experienced stuff with Dr. Malley where it almost defies what you would say is physics, right?
Right, literally.
Having an open mind to that was like an awesome lesson right away. And when I talk about MLS seminars, I almost I refer them as more of like tickets, because they're almost like trips, because they really don't feel like you're in a class. It's like an experience, like you explained, and it's almost like a destination that you're taking, or a journey during that weekend, during that time you're spending.
Sure.
And it's like a journey inward a lot of the time that I feel like I'm having a lot. So that was another really like light bulb moment where I went from like 35% capacity of like luminescence to like 70, right? And that just continues to like expand. And that comes from a place of having space to let that keep growing. And Dr. Jeremy Brook was my first MLS staff member, and I've talked about him before, but instrumental for me and my ability to just open up my eyes to what I'm capable of. And when I really want to be authentic with who I am, that's the best version of me that I can give to everybody else, to help them realize who they are, and let your own light shine. And I wanted to kind of touch on one thing that, Tyler, you really helped me realize, and it was unfortunately a little bit later in the program, which I really have it now, but it's a sense of pride for the Fountainhead. And you said something to me really profound, that like you really try to wear and rep Palmer everywhere you go, because there really is such a power that comes with being in the Fountainhead that I don't think a lot of people truly appreciate. And I have a couple quotes here. One's from Napoleon, like the short guy Napoleon, not Napoleon Hill, like Tyler was talking about. So Napoleon, he had this quote that says, "A great reputation is like a sound." Already love that part. But laws, institutions, monuments, nations perish, but the sound endures and echoes down generations. So that's like that really screams to me that like the Fountainhead and what it stands for, the reputation of the Fountainhead, and like the philosophy that BJ and Didi and all like the giants that went to like they endured so much ridicule and like just powered through it for us. And to not uphold that is like one of the greatest disservices I think that's being somewhat orchestrated right now. But people like you and like that shift back towards what chiropractic has always stood for is what gives me a lot of hope, and really makes me want to rep that pride, because Palmer isn't who always is the president. Palmer is an idea, right? And that's what I really love about it. And I have one more little quote from Dr. E.L. Crowder. So, "Our true inheritance lies in our ability to make and shape chiropractic so that it will survive for all time to come. Thus, we become the creators of our professional destiny." I think that is truly what we take on once we graduate, because that's our inheritance, is the chiropractic destiny, not the institutions, but the people that we are able to impact. And that shift in our communities, ourselves, and the people we get to touch. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, because that's I was almost feeling like a sense of not shame, but with like life and Sherman really having like the progression towards like, I've heard stuff that like, Sherman's the new Fountainhead. And like, to me, I'm like, dang, like, did I mess up? But really, no, because I wouldn't be who or where I'm at without Palmer. And again,
Right.
it's not the people who run it, it's an idea. And I think, bigger picture kind of goes back around to where we live in the country. And like that sense of national pride, that's something that's kind of been attacked and chipped away at recently. And people almost make you feel like you're silly for having national pride. And I think that's stupid, because this country truly stands for what it means to be free and truth and love and freedom, man. And that's just really what I stand for and I align myself with. So I just want to say thank you for helping me kind of understand that for myself, Tyler.
That's a big thing, dude, because you definitely, like I said, you exude that. You really do. And you're somebody that always you do truly preach that. It's not even just like a preaching, you live it out too.
Manifest.
And he manifested. I mean, the ultimate manifester right here, man. I'm telling you what, guys, if you ever have a chance to talk to Dr. Tylor, he is a king at manifesting. But I think one thing that you were talking about too, Nash, that really is cool and where you can really grasp that big idea is just walking around the campus and seeing over 100 years worth of history. And just, I don't know about you guys, but I loved just going out and sitting in a little bit of honey courtyard and just like thinking, dang, like
a little bit of heaven, a little bit of honey.
Little bit of heaven, sorry. Wait, is it heaven or honey?
It's heaven.
Okay. Did I say honey?
You did.
It's heaven.
Oh. How did I say that? Anyways, I loved walking through there and just kind of basking in that. And I think that for all of us, like you were talking about, Tyler, there's that certain confidence and clarity that comes while you're in a atmosphere like that, and you get people like you that we come across that confidence and clarity becomes so much more than just what we say, but it's how we feel, and it's how we, amid the emotions, we connect with each other, and we're able to bring back not only this concept of the big idea of Palmer, like Nash is talking about, only in the Fountainhead, but wherever you go. Almost like you are that beacon, you are emitting that lighthouse presence wherever it is that you go. And I know that is a presence that you do. And so, like Dr. Nash was saying, I think you're a really cool cat too. You're a top notch dude. And
make us proud, man, for real.
You definitely make us proud. And again, if anybody's listening to this, reach out to Dr. Tylor ASAP. Not only for who he is as a person, but also Dr. Tylor is a leader through and through, and he has a leadership program, which is a big reason too why we wanted to bring him on here today. Dr. Tylor, can you talk a little bit about that, and just even just why you started? Because you kind of touched on it just a little bit, how you wanted to be a leader, talking to Dr. Jeremy and whatnot, but why you started it, what the what your ultimate goal is for that and through this program for other people.
So just to backtrack a little bit, talking about like our experiences at Palmer, when I came through and I was going through with you guys, there wasn't, and we're talking about the things that kind of irked us with the experience, the things that we necessarily didn't like. Sherman's the new Fountainhead. That was the state of things. That was our reality, and we weren't necessarily happy with where we were. So, what I wanted at school was to grow to the next level for me. Dang. Where was I?
We kind of caught it. It just was sped up.
All right.
Just what you wanted from school.
Yeah. So what I wanted from school wasn't necessarily offered. It wasn't there. while I was there. And I I have always been like a natural leader. I never really went into depth in like studying it, but I always had this natural leadership ability. So I went out, got with Nick Lim, um, who, oh man, thank you for Nick Lim. Uh, what a man! That dude completely changed the direction of my life.
Same here.
100%.
Same here.
And so what did we do? We made an MLS club where, you know, like-minded students, people that wanted to progress and train the way that we wanted to train, had that outlet. And that's why I'm so big on being a leader. If something doesn't exist that you need, if there's something that you need, there's something that you want to do, nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna hold your hand and say, here's the road. You know, you got to find it. And then once you find it, you got to be the one to trailblaze that. You know, you got to step out and literally take the bull by the horns. And that's why I'm so big on leadership, man. I feel like I read a book by Urban Meyer.
Of course, you would.
Myers
Ohio boy
was the head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now he's in Jacksonville. Wishing him luck there. But it's called Above the Line, and he talks about how leadership was the number one factor on all of his championship teams. It wasn't a lack of talent, because he could take the talent from all of his teams put together, and it would equal about the same sum. So it was never a lack of talent, but the thing that won the championships was leadership, 100%. And that's why I started this whole thing. It's called Ascent Leadership Training. And basically my mission is to help people figure out exactly what they want for themselves, for their lives, for the people that they serve, and then help them show up every day as the best version of themselves so that they can manifest that reality. And that's what life's all about, man. I feel like that's what we're all on a mission to do. And we all have our individual missions. They vary slightly. I mean, we're all chiropractors, so we're on the same road. But if you look at us as people and look at your two practices, for example, very different. You know, the way they've manifested is very different. And it's not saying to give somebody a blueprint of like, this is how it's done. It's you gotta ask the difficult questions that really strike you in the core. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to light that fire. That's going to take you to whatever level you want to go to, whatever reality you want for yourself, whatever lifestyle you want to live, what do you want your family life to look like? What do you want financially? What do you want happening for you? How do you want to give back to maybe the institutions that served you, like Palmer, or causes? You know, those are hard questions that we really have to search for, and we got to strike a chord, not just on the physical level where we get this like little bit of motivation, because motivation is fading, man. It lasts a day, lasts a couple weeks, but you have a bad day, motivation goes way down, and right. You don't get up at 5:30 to work out. You don't do the things that are going to make you successful because you had a bad day and you have no motivation. Strike purpose. You gotta get to the freaking core of the soul, and that's where you'll find all the riches. all the energy you need to do anything. But if you strike that deepest level, that
You're back. You said get to the freaking
here?
core to strike. Say that again. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Dope. What else you guys got?
Well, I was thinking, as you were talking, I'm just looking at your shirt.
I just had a rant.
Sorry, dude, we're losing you again, my man. Or we did.
Yeah.
We back?
I'm back.
Okay. We totally are all about rants here, so no problem there.
Oh yeah.
We'll take a rant any day, especially if it's one filled with fire. But one thing I was just thinking about as you're talking there, you have your shirt on, and for those who aren't watching on YouTube, which go and subscribe to our YouTube page. Your shirt says "Awaken, Serve, and Repeat," and I freaking love that, because I think there's two things, well, technically three things, that I draw from that shirt alone. That is not only your character, but also something that when I was working with you through the leadership program is, just being able to be awakened and, things that I was maybe not the most cohesive with and not on my purpose at the time. So just, first of all, thank you. And I know we've talked before about that, but just being able to be reawakened on certain topics that I needed to be addressed. But then serving and repeating, I think, is two big things that I want to touch on that you were talking about, because like you said, motivation is very fleeting. Motivation, it doesn't last for a lifetime, but what does last for a lifetime is the discipline we cultivate. And in serving people, that discipline needs to be there. No, to get up and serve everybody every single day, that's hard. But the more we make that repeatable and the more we do it with the intention and fire that you bring, I think is very important. And people out there, they need that so badly, to be able to have the mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to choose today and I'm going to choose every day, not because I'm extremely motivated, but because I know it's my purpose. I know I'm going to do it with integrity. And I know it's something that I have burning within me that I need to get out before I die, that I need to move forward with before I die. And I think if there's one thing that I can think of with your program and your leadership training, even your leadership style, is awakening that in an individual to say, what do I need to get out before I die? What do I need to get done? And giving them a step-by-step process to do that at the same time, because it's easy to have a very misguided way of doing that, but you bring it to light in such a way that I think is really golden, and not only having goals, manifesting those goals and meeting those goals, but also exceeding them, ascending above them, and making sure that people know what it is that they're doing for the discipline, not just the typical, like, oh, I'm a chiropractor, I adjust you. No, it's way more than that. And I think that's what you bring in your leadership training program. And just seeing that shirt, dude. Did you make that shirt?
MLS, bro.
Oh, that's an MLS shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love it, bro. Dude,
No,
I need to go to MLS
shirt, bro.
I need to go to MLS because it's funny, because I think we all have similar thought processes, but mine was more on the KTC side.
Well, Dr. Brett trained on MLS staff for a long time.
Right. I know Limit shared some of that stuff with me, so I think they stem from similar roots, but I think it's just really cool being able to have that cohesiveness in us that wasn't necessarily from the same place technically, but that's the spirit of chiropractic at the end of the day too. And source.
For sure.
We got 1 minute just.
And you guys want to switch it over?
Well, just so you like 1 minute drill for this next little portion. Little intermission.
All right.
Little mid intermission. Favorite ice cream flavor, go.
So one thing I wanted to at least hit on super quick too, Tyler, before you get into like what those three words mean to you. Awaken, serve, repeat. I mean, that's Gates. You did hit on about the awakening portion, and I think the repeat, the word repeat is something that's almost kind of glossed over, and like it really, like you said, behind motivation, that's something that can wear out, and really having a conviction, that's something that really allows you to like day in and day out, like it's just another 24. Like I'm gonna get right back to it. Yesterday might have been a win, yesterday might have been a loss, might have been in between, but today's another opportunity to repeat, awaken, and serve. And that's literally one of my favorite portions of that shirt is that repeat, because success isn't guaranteed. Winning, I mean, Andy Frisell talks about it. Winning doesn't care, it has no solicitude if you won yesterday. Like you got to do it again.
Yep.
Like it doesn't care. And I think that is really what that says to me a lot, and I really love that.
That's so true. And he does talk about that a lot. And I think all of us are obsessed with winning. What does Andy Frisell say? Winning is more fun. I can't remember. I'll have to think of it.
More fun than fun, and like it's a noble thing to do. He says it a lot too. And like,
and we got
for it, Tyler. Awaken, serve, repeat. Yeah.
So I think amongst all things that drive business, society, everything is centered around service. If you want to have a successful business, if you want to amass any amount of riches, you have to find a way to serve people at a high level. And one thing that was always crazy to me that really Dr. Wade Port ingrained in me, and he said it. I mean, this is why these shirts were made. If you want something for yourself, go out and serve somebody and serve it to them. If you want to be motivated, go out and motivate somebody else. If you want to be loved, go out and love somebody else. If you want to, I don't know, if you're having a tough time, say you're struggling financially, go out and serve somebody else, and you will get exactly what you're looking for. And I think service above everything is so important. In order to get exactly what we want in life, we have to really focus on the other people around us and how we can be the greatest servant. And that's what we do as chiropractors. I mean, we're constantly serving up, not just our blood and our sweat and our tears, but we're giving our freaking souls to people, man. We're serving. It transcends the physical when we serve, and that's what this is all about. Awaken, get up every day with that intention of serving to the highest ability you can. This is like the ultimate chiropractic motto: awaken, serve, repeat, man. And it's an everyday grind. There's and if you, serve everybody. Serve your freaking girlfriends, your wives, your husbands. Serve your siblings, your parents.
Anybody
serve
else?
Everybody. Your dog. How much energy, how much love are you giving to your dog every day? You will get back in life in exact proportion to what you give it. And if you want anything, go give it to somebody else, and you will receive. That's the deep meaning behind this shirt for me. Doing it every day.
That's tough. Yeah, bro. Can you touch on? Sorry, Dr. Nash, I didn't want to cut you off.
You're good.
In your leadership training program, obviously you bring that mantra essentially to it, but who essentially is your leadership training for? what do you look for to bring to people and serving them up in that?
I think the easiest way to go about this would be to tell you what it's not. And
Cool.
in no way is this program a motivational, like, if you want to work with me, I make sure that one, you're a self-starter. Like, you got to go out, you got to want it. I'm not working with people that need their handheld, people that don't necessarily have. We're cultivating throughout the program. We're cultivating the purpose. We're acting on it. We're laying it out exactly what we want, but which is going to motivate you. But in order to have that, you have to have that desire at the deepest level of, like, being a leader, being great, giving back to the people. So yeah, definitely for self-starters, but really I'm working with a lot of entrepreneurs. It's for the entrepreneur who wants to make a bigger impact on their community, have more fulfillment in their professional lives, yes, but also their personal lives. I mean, if you have you amass all these riches, you can be the richest bastard in the world, have a terrible life, hate your life, nobody to love. So that's only one piece of the puzzle, the professional piece, important piece, because that's how we serve at the greatest level for most people. Some people want to be the greatest dad in the world. I think, Gates, you and I talked about this just a little bit. A few weeks ago. Some people have, maybe they didn't have the greatest upbringing, and their number one purpose in life is to raise a child and give them the best possible life they can, which is cool, which is incredible. But for the most part, professionally is how we serve the masses, and really in business is really the way that we can do this at a high level. So I really like working with entrepreneurs, people that are self-motivated, yes, but also have that deep desire to give back, to be a leader, not just complacency. It is not on the table with me. One thing that my dad really ingrained in me when I was young, I remember we were out on a golf course, and I watched. My dad was a great golfer when I was growing up, and I watched him put a ball about 280 yards out off the tee box, in the rough, slightly in the rough. And I was like, "Oh, great shot." He was like, "Missed the fairway." And I'm like, "What do you mean? I wish I could do that, And he said to me, "We don't celebrate mediocrity. We don't celebrate complacency." So there's always another level to attain. Don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, there's
I love it, the analogy.
And another thing, this is kind of off topic, but I was talking to somebody a few months ago, and they were asking, asking about Dr. Malley's program, asking because I've been super involved in that program since day one of chiro school. And the guy was like, "Have you gotten everything you can get from that program?" And I was like, I've barely scratched the surface.
Absolutely.
Of what I can learn. And there's this really in the field, like, it's widespread, it's in the field, this sense of complacency. and a celebration of mediocrity. And there's a whole nother level. There's like a different world out there when you start meeting people that really have dedicated their lives to something, whatever it is. It can be selling freaking cars, but you meet somebody that has dedicated their life to selling cars, and it's a way different experience than meeting somebody that is just selling cars for a job. You know? And that's what I'm all about, cultivating, dedicating our lives to something way bigger than us.
Love it. Please keep going. I'm not trying to cut you off.
I'm expired for a minute. I need some coffee. So.
You're parched. Yeah, I just like, you know, as things are coming to, you know, dropping in, when you're just talking about having that purpose, right? I think one of the, you know, kind of tying it back into even just like chiropractic and what we're really trying to invoke in somebody and help release the greatest amount of life with somebody. I was talking with somebody this week that had a really great experience with Nuka. And I was really thinking, like, man, of most like practitioners, and even like, you know, obviously technique's all about what resonates with you. And I think that one of the beautiful things about Nuka is that, like, you're not just doing a job as a Nuka doc, right? Like, you really are like all in. And that's like that message for people when they get results, like when people literally see results all the time from Nuka, from that, it's just so powerful to me that, like, wow. And it's really inspiring because, like, a lot of people get hung up on like self-satisfaction and self-gratification when, you know, either adjusting or even just like it doesn't inherently come off as selfish, but like, you know, I really want this person to be well, so I really am trying my best to adjust whatever I think is going to be the best for this person. And Nuka is not like that. And Nuka is really I mean, it's almost it is somewhat metaphysical with, you know, the fundamental principles of it, and people respond so well to it. And I think that really a lot of that comes from that conviction that whatever doctor is practicing that on that person, helping that life force release in them, it couldn't be done with just it being, you know, some half-ass why, or some half-ass like, yeah, you know, like, I want to kind of help this person, or I kind of like doing this, but it's okay. No, like, that's like what they're here for, right? I mean, I feel like I said earlier, no Nuka docs are going into it just like kind of like, it's Nuka. No, like, they're going in because they love it. And helping somebody figure that out for themselves is going to help them succeed in whatever they do. Like you said, whether it be selling cars, whether it be washing dishes, you know, if you find fulfillment and you can truly want to do the best job you can, that's what we all need. And that's what not just your community needs, the state, the country, the world. And I think that's a big lacking that a lot of people are experiencing, that just like, God, like, I thought college is where I figure out my conviction and my why. And that's just not what it's been designed for, unfortunately. You got to seek it on your own. So having somebody like you, man, that's awesome, because we need you out here, and people need that.
100%. Can you kind of walk us through what without divulging your whole entire program, but
give us the blueprint right now.
Yes. So just to kind of skim the surface. So I start out, I spent about 3 months working on this workbook, and it's really simple. It's an 18-page.
It's a fire workbook, by the way.
All do it yourself, but you know, it goes deep into your vision. I think developing a vision for what you want your life to turn out to be so incredibly important. A long-term aspirational, like, what if everything were to go right in my life, this is what I'd be doing. And then okay, step back, that might be 20, 30 years down the line. Bring it down to a 3-year vision. And over the next 3 years, what do you want to accomplish to maintain alignment with that long-term aspirational? What does your family life look like? What kind of income are you making? How are you serving people? How are you building towards that long term? And really just giving people this container to allow their imagination, allow their minds to just go crazy on this best case scenario type of thing. And then when you bring it down to a 3-year vision, you're like, oh, well, shit, it's not that hard to get to. It's actually very attainable. And it's never about how many resources you have. It's always about how resourceful are you. If there's a means, there's always a way.
Yeah.
And that's what I preach consistently. After we go through the vision, we do some different things in that workbook. One of the main things is the relationships with people that we currently have. Who are the most important people in your life? And I think you guys have talked about it on the podcast, maybe not, but the rule of 5. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're hanging out with people that never make advances on their goals, they never happy, or maybe they don't set goals in the first place, just complacent people, that's who you will turn out to be. And I think it's so important to identify the people that you currently have relationships with, how to enhance them, and who you need to target and build a relationship with in order to have your life go the way you want it to go. We all associated with Dr. Malik. Nash and I were with Jeremy Brook and Wade Port, and I suck out these guys that I looked at them as mentors. They had accomplished exactly what I wanted to accomplish in my life, and those are the people that I surrounded myself with. You two guys, when I was going through school, these are 2 go-getters. These are 2 guys that have it right. If I hang out with them, I'll be in a good place. Look at us now.
Now you're rocking first words.
We're hanging out.
Look where we're going too, right?
Yeah, and we're on the up. We're fighting the good fight. But if I would have chose to associate with other people, my life would be drastically different. And if I would have done the status quo and just got through school, did the bare minimum, and didn't seek out these other people, you guys wouldn't have praised me the way you did when we came in, about being on purpose, intentional, awaken, serve, repeat, being a leader. That would have never been me if I didn't look for those people. And that's one thing that people don't do normally. They right. kind of skate through life in the 9 to 5. Nash, you were talking about how school doesn't really prepare you for finding that purpose, and school trains you to be an employee.
Yeah,
it really does. It teaches you how to show up from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., do your work, and go home and do whatever.
Yep.
And I think your 9 to 5 is really where you build stability in your life. You really you work, but 5 to 9, what you do with that other 14 hours a day, that's where you build your legacy.
Right.
And
if it's Mally's, we're 5 to 10:30, maybe 11.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, dude, funny.
So yeah, the people. We talk about another concept that I learned that I really embraced in my life was this concept of performing well in all my roles.
Mm.
And so many of us wear all these different hats every day. Um, we're a student or we're a doctor, and we come home and we're a partner. Uh, your dad, your brother, your sister, all your roles. You have to wear all those hats every day. And the things that make you successful as an entrepreneur, the things that make you successful as a manager, are not the same things that make you successful as a partner, as a lover, as a father, and yet we carry the same stress around with us. The stress from us as a manager comes home with us every night. Um, it diminishes the connection that we have with our partners, and we don't really focus on the things that will make us successful in those roles. So I took my life and I was like, I'm a student, I'm a leader in the school. I have an internship with Dr. Malley. I rep all these seminars, but also I'm trying to cultivate a future with my girlfriend. And I have these amazing friends that I hang out with daily. And I want to be a good friend. And I took all those roles and I wrote down, things that I'm doing that make me successful in them, and things that I could be doing that would make me more successful. And I focused on those differences and really just played the part. When it's like I switched the hat out, man. Now I'm a friend. I'm hanging with my boys. Now I'm a boyfriend. I'm trying to have a great relationship with this woman. I'm trying to cultivate a future with her. Put the hat on. Now I'm a student, and my focus went strictly to that one subject. Drastically changed my life. Before I started doing that, every relationship I had lacked connection. We're circling back to these three words that you guys laid out. Lack connection, failed. All those relationships failed. If my focus was I'm only a student, in the back of my mind I've got 20 things that I need to do, 20 things that I should be doing, all the deadlines that I got to meet, all the tests I have coming up, while I'm trying to have dinner with my girlfriend. That's not serving me. So made those clear distinctions. So critical for everyone, man. And that's another thing that we do. Another thing is time. Time is so important. We have to master our time, man. We only get so much of it. It's the one resource that
currency, really,
that we the one currency that we have, the most valuable for sure. And if we spend our time doing things that aren't in alignment with our vision, our purpose, with our life's mission, then you'll see that throughout your life. You will see the I guess the downstream effects of that lack of purposeful time, and it'll throughout your entire life. Your relationships will start to fade. You see if for us in chiropractic practice, we'll see a fall in our practice. It will be a direct reflection of everything we do. And I'm really, I developed these techniques for time management when I was an undergrad that were just on point. I don't know how I did it. I was, I was purposeful.
Source.
I wanted to here are the things that I wanted to do, and these techniques, these strategies just came to me out of nowhere, and that's what's awesome about definite purpose when you have, and I love teaching people how to be so effective with their time.
Mm.
It's and you'll see people's lives transform with just that one thing. I had a client. We just talked about that first week. Had a couple realizations very quickly that he was never purposeful with his time. He was doing those things, student, in the back of his mind, all those obligations, and was never able to cultivate a connection with his girlfriend because of it. Fixed it. Now they're doing great. Great relationship, happy, an exciting future because he started being purposeful with his time and like setting aside time to spend with her and not worry about all those other things all those other stressors that are on our minds constantly.
There's a lot of noise that goes on that it's really makes it difficult, I think, in this day and age with how connected we have the ability to be with technology, that noise really kind of drowns out our own ability to no problem, Tyler. Our own ability to use our time and like truly invest the present moment of that time with whoever we're with. So it is like a kind of a double-edged sword because, I mean, we talked about it before, it allows us to connect hundreds of miles away. So, Tyler, I know you got to head out, brother. Want to thank you so much for stopping in and dropping so much heat for us today on the Good Fight-ers podcast. We truly appreciate you. Can you just tell everybody how they can connect with you and how to find you on social media?
Yeah, social media, Instagram, at Tylor the chiropractic, not an ER. I like to tell people my mom was illiterate, so
bro, she knew it. The tour.
She made it so hard for me. It's always Taylor. It's always spelled with an ER. It's Tylor, the chiropractor. Find me on Facebook also, Tylor Pritchard. Check out Ascent Leadership Training if you feel connected to that. Dropping some fire on social media there, and would love to if anybody wants to as a gift to the podcast and to my brothers here. Anybody that wants 2 free coaching calls with me, hit me up, and you'll get them.
Wow, that's big game for everybody listening. You better take advantage of that as soon as you hear that come out of Tyler's mouth.
And put on game, bro. That's it right there.
Yeah, bro. Well, thank you for putting that out there for our listeners and for people that are trying to be a good fighter. And that you as a leader and as a good fighter as well have been putting in some work. And we're very grateful as the collective and as us too for the impact that you've made in our lives and in the whole world. We never know how far-reaching that is, but yours is very far-reaching, I'm sure. But with that being said, any quick closing thoughts to Tyler that you have? I mean, like Nash said, you dropped some fire, but real quick before you head out, anything else that you got for everybody?
Just love you guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Nash, Gates, man, you guys are stellar dudes. You guys are going to be so successful. I'm so excited for what's coming, and it's a storm. We're hanging out right here, masterminding with a couple heavy hitters. Like I said earlier, you guys are really going to hit the ball out of the park. I'm excited to go on this journey with you guys. those that are fighting the good fight, keep it up. Find that connection, that intention, that purpose, and hold it tight. Because if you ride that wave, man, you're going to make a big difference, and the world will thank you for that.
Damn. Love you, bro. Thank you so much.
Love you, my man. Thank you so much. That's powerful stuff, brother. Powerful stuff.
Gates, any last
Love
thoughts
you
from you,
guys.
brother?
Hop on Tyler's program, y'all. I can't say it enough. You will grow by leaps and bounds. Like you said, not only in your professional life, but also everything else. So it's definitely something to take advantage of as soon as you can and for as long as you can.
Yep. Love it. All right.
Oh.
He who has a why can bear almost anyhow. Love y'all, good fighters out there. The Fight Club.
A Fight Club.
Yep. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Take care.
Choose your destiny. Raiden wins. Flawless.